Hello and welcome to my channel Bobo Bun So Vintage Life. I'm Lisa. I'm a vintage inspired dressmaker and dressmaking teacher, and I love to share all of my creativity as well as fashion history, vintage finds, treasures and my makes with you. In today's vlog I've got a lovely bag that I've made, very vintage inspired, so I'm going to show you how I made that, and hopefully then if you want to make the same, it'll give you some food for thought. And I'll also show you some fabrics that I've got with upcoming makes and a few things that I've made. So I'd love to see you back here in a moment, so until then, see you in a moment. Right, first things first, I shall talk about what I'm wearing, show you the dress on the mannequin, talk about my fabric makes, and then we'll get on with the raffia bag that I want to show you and the how-to. So what I'm wearing today is a hacked Nina Lee London Q dress. I made so many for my daughter, so this was the first one. I thought, you know, I'm going to make one for myself. And on a day like today, which I think is around the 40 mark, very unusual for England, as I'm sitting here talking to you, my skin is just prickling with the heat, so we definitely want very thin cotton lawn on with not much. After I've done this video, I'm going to go and chuck myself in the paddling pool to bring my temperature right down, and then luckily where I teach tonight I'll be in air conditioning, so I'm sure not everyone's as lucky, but yeah, these are the things that we're dealing with. So I've got on a very, very lightweight dress, so she looks like I'm hugging my bosoms to tell you, in this marvellous floral, and I decided to do strap bows. I find them so much easier at times, and you can just tie them up as much as you want, or tie them onto your bra strap so it doesn't come undone. If you can see around the top, I've rick-racked it because I love the rick-rack, and then I've got red vintage buttons. If I just stand up, so I've got red vintage buttons, and then I put an A-line skirt on with these slanted pockets. And that's from the Rosalie dress by Experimental Space Patterns. So yeah, this is a dress, I think I made it last year or the year before. I've only sort of worn it once or twice because, yeah, it's real hot weather. And it's not one that would be my first choice in, I think, oh, I look lovely in that. But yeah, hot weather, it's just perfect. Now, a dress I do really, really love is this one on here. It's another Rita hack, this fabric. It's a light viscose lawn from Fabric Godmother, but it feels almost, I don't know, like soft sort of velvet, silky. It's just beautiful to touch. So I've done another Rita, but I really raised up, so I've got a square neckline, and I've lengthened the sleeves from here down to here, so that I got the elastic channel here, and then the frill. Might even lengthen them a bit more next time. And then I've done the 3-tiered patio skirt, so I'll be showing you that. I'll probably wear that next week to show you, but I absolutely adore this. This fabric was in payment for a paid promotion I did for Fabric Godmother. So I think I showed it to you in my last video. So I have to be really careful about the placement of all the flowers, where the stripes go, you know, for those prints, so that it all works. So I'm really, really thrilled with how it's turned out. Oh, I haven't pinned it on there. I've got a little bow. There you go. As if by magic, the bow's added. I've just pinned it on, but yeah, I wanted a bow on the neckline as well. So it's just got that very, it makes me think of gypsy caravans and painted canal boats and all of that. It just makes me really joyful. So that's ready for the wearing. And then I've got this other fabric that's just come. Fabric Godmother will be releasing it as part of another new collection very soon. I haven't got a date to give you. So as ambassadors, we get the pick of fabrics that we'd like to make something with. And I chose this one. I saw this come up in the suggestions. They did Joni as a viscose in a cream, and they've done it in the pink background, and I just adore pink. You might have already got the feeling that I love pinks and reds. So again, a floral stripe in a viscose lawn, and it's just delicious. So I know what I'm making with this. I'm going to be making a vampire's wife inspired dress. I wanted to make one for a hell of a long time. So I've been looking at all the different elements because there's so many frocks to choose from. So I'll probably get through making them all eventually, but I was just picking out my key elements because I want something that's got a very sort of flat canvas to show this print off, but with frills and you know, really interesting design details. So that's what this is going to become. So it's a case of drafting my own sleeve, skirt, the ruffles. I've already got my block, I've just got to change my darts round. So yeah, then we'll be good to go. And then for a wintry one, if you've seen the Skyrocket dress by Vampire's Wife, which I just utterly adore with the ruffles going up into chevrons, I got the last 3 meters of this stretch cotton sateen. It's in black. I don't know if it's showing up with the floral print in it, and it's absolutely delicious. So definitely not one for 40-degree heat, but that's to one side for another one in the future. When my love saw it drying on the washing line, he said that would make a fabulous dressing gown, and I was like, no way. And yes, it would, but no way, because I got plans for it. So that's these dresses and what I'll be making now. So I will show you the finished article of what I'm then going to be showing you I made. It's this little embroidered raffia bag. It's got all my tut inside it, but if you can see, there's a beautiful vintage barkcloth curtain panel. I used parts of to line it. Now I saw this basket when I was out shoe shopping for a wedding. I saw it in the shop and I just thought, I can't justify buying that. I felt really bad when I was buying shoes. So I put it back, and I did regret not buying it. And I think 2 weeks later, because I've going back again, I've always wanted a bag, whether it be those round shoulder bags or a basket like this that's embroidered like that. I've got various hard standing baskets that are embroidered, but you know, nothing that I would use as an everyday bag or a handbag. And so I really knew I wanted one, and I kept thinking back to this basket. And so one afternoon I just flew straight back to the shop, and they said, oh, we don't know which one you mean, because this is like a big local department store. So I really described it. They were so kind. They phoned the buyer, who told them which one it was. They'd all sold out. They only had a couple, I think. The lady gave me some details where I could buy it from this European website. And then I went up to the book department, and she chased up. She'd got the code and all of the various things, so she couldn't have been more helpful. I got straight home, I ordered it, and I think I had about 30% off, you know, on an introductory offer. Then I waited the 2 weeks for it to come, and then from then it was another 3 weeks with Hermes. It kept saying we'll be delivering tomorrow, but no signs. So during that 3 weeks I got in touch with the people I bought it from, you know, because I thought, I'm never going to get this bag, it's like 5-6 weeks on. And they did all this searching about, and they said, oh, Hermes say they've lost it. Yeah, surprise there, says she rather ironically. And yeah, so they refunded me the full amount, and then the next day my bag turned up. So there you go. That is the story of my bag. The next day, because I've been waiting weeks to do my idea, I spent the whole day making it and utterly loved it, and I got it made in time for us to go on our little Shepherd's Hut trip. So without further ado, let me show you how you make the bag. So take one basket in its raw, natural state, not such a nice lining, which will be coming out pretty soon, and then it will be replaced with the most glorious vintage barkcloth curtain and some tapestry threads. First job is to unpick the lining, because I'll need that to make a pattern to make the new lining, and I also need the bag in its raw shape so that I can be embroidering through from the front to the back. With the lining unpicked, I've got that to use as a pattern to cut my fabric out, and I'm good to start embroidering. Now I've already embroidered a few of the flowers on the raffia basket. It's quite tough getting through. I'm using tapestry threads that we got from a charity shop, and then I'm doubling them up. And I'm literally sort of drawing on the raffia, so I'm working out the placement and I'm just marking them out, and then later I'll come back to build up the thickness of the flowers. But for now I'm just, you know, measuring my space and making sure it comes round because I envisaged a curve of the larger flowers, and then later on you'll see that I added some small lazy daisy. So if anybody's embroiderer, it's the lazy daisy stitches that I did around the top and put some leaves around. And at times this is like really tough. I was using I don't know if it's a tapestry needle or one of my old sewing up my jumper needles, but yeah, it went through quite well, but yeah, it does hurt my fingers a bit. So yeah, I think this took me the best part of a day. I was in and out with different chores, but yeah, best part of the day getting all this done. But it was happy hours spent doing it. I absolutely loved every minute of it, choosing the colours, you know, and the placement of all the flowers. Quite a few inward and outward stitches later. We're getting near to having the shape of another yellow flower, so that will be all of my main flowers stitched out. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like really happy. As you can see, I jumped ahead into the centre of one to see what it would look like. Now I've put in those little lazy daisy flowers, and I'll be doing some French knots in the centre of those. But for now I've got to thicken up all my other flowers. I'm just showing you the colours of what I'm using for the leaves later. I'd like my hands out for handy demonstration purposes. I'm afraid, time allowing, I didn't get to film any of the other embroidery process or actually sewing in the lining, but next I'm going to show you me cutting out the lining. Rather than make a pattern for the lining, as this is a one-off shaped bag, I just used the original lining and I cut around it. Not quite as quickly as the video is showing, but I've cut it individually because I wanted to place the fabric in exactly the right place because it was fading in parts. So I used the one piece and then laid it on the next to cut around that. And then they were just ready to pin together. And then once I'd finished my embroidery, I just sewed them together and then hand stitched into the basket. And then that exciting moment when the project, the idea you had in your head has become a thing. I absolutely love this basket. I am so pleased with it. And I loved making it to show you. So you can see I took it on our lovely little jaunt when we had our night in the Shepherd's Hut, to be posing on the steps, and oh, it was just glorious, so relaxing and beautiful. There's a swan upside down. We went down because we were right on a Broad, which is a waterway in Norfolk, and we sat by the side where the swan swam up to us, you know, while we dangled our feet. And then after our supper in the evening, we walked down to watch all the geese and the swans at dusk. And then in the morning, just happy. Now, I can't say enough how much pleasure this bag gives me. I absolutely adore it, and it's the joy of one, having an idea coming out of your head and into your hands and then creating the thing, and then you know it will work, and the joy that you made it, no one else has got one, and just enjoying the visual beauty of it. So yeah, I am dead chuffed with my bag. I absolutely love it, and yeah, it had a nice little holiday on you know, our one night holiday in the Shepherd's Hut. I thought it was a perfect place to take it. Interestingly, when I was doing a search for vintage inspired embroidered straw or raffia bags, one came up, a Dior one, and it's the tiniest little bag. It looks really crumpled, and it was designed by John Galliano for Dior, and it's like about £500-600, you know, and it was like this big. You just, I mean, when I price up my hours of work, then yes, my bag would be more than anybody would probably pay me for it, but God, it's not going to be like £500-600 for something that's more mass produced, but hey ho. So much better when you can make it yourself. So I hope you've really enjoyed this little making video. I love sharing everything I do with you. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. And maybe you'll go on and make a bag of your own. If you do, let me know. I'd love to hear. Thank you, you know, for following, liking, commenting. I really appreciate it. It's what makes this so much fun. It was lovely reading your comments from my last video, you know, my history tour of Felbrick Hall. I'm so glad. I had to wait utterly days. I think I started loading it on Thursday lunchtime, and I think about midnight on Saturday, it finally loaded. You know, it's just, I don't know what was going on there. So yeah, that was super frustrating, but it finally got to you, and you enjoyed it. So that's the main thing. So if you want to be notified of my upcoming videos, I post every Thursday, then please hit the subscribe and like and comment. It's what makes this lovely YouTube community flow. So until next time, thanks very much, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.